Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you are well. We're back in Misty Marsh today. We're going to be continuing with our new alligator habitat. Just looking around the cafe area, make sure I haven't missed anything over here. I don't think so. I think it's all looking pretty good. So let's move on over here. So this is our new alligator habitat. Which is coming along nicely. So we've got our walkway around it, we've got our water with the alligators in, and we've got two land areas where they can come up and onto the land. Not that they do a lot of that. It's clear that they like to just do this and just hang out in the water, and that's fine. Actually, there's meant to be 4 of them in here. Oh yes, there is 4. There you go. I will get a lot more. So what do we need to do next? Oh yeah, I've got that annoying bit of land there that it won't let me get rid of. So I'm going to have to do an archway over here, but that's fine. I was kind of thinking I might do that anyway, kind of all along this ridge here to make it quite secluded. So you have to you can't see it from here. You have to go through the archways to get into the area, so you can't see anything. So that's what I'm thinking. I was thinking this bit here would look good with waterfalls. And then basic rock, I think, around the rest of this. I am wondering whether I might do some sort of building in here, some kind of canopy potentially. But what I'll do the rock work first. So let's start with that waterfall. So I'm going to use my my pre-made thing. Actually, not that one because it's got some weird plants attached to it. Let's find one of my originals. Here we go. I don't mind reusing stuff like this because it's very time consuming if you do every single one looking slightly different, and I think I can get away with this. And what I can do, you just kind of play around with it, sink it in here and there. It's a bit trickier sinking it downwards, actually, thinking about it, because of where the water levels go. But I think I can get away with this kind of thing. The idea is you're just trying to make it look like you're not just copying and pasting, which obviously is exactly what you're doing. But hey ho. Cool, right, and then come into here, and we just want to do a little bit of pushing here and there. It's not a lot of ground showing through. Okay. That's good. Let's just come down, make sure that all looks okay from this sort of level. Yeah, this bit here, obviously it's gone under the water, so what I'll do there is just get a few extra rocks in front just to cover that up. That's pretty easy to do that. That kind of thing. There we go. Cool, so that's our waterfall. So that's kind of makes you, as you walk in, that's kind of your focal point in the distance. So I like that. So then I want to do rocks around these other areas. Now let's just find one of my other rock pieces. Let's use this. I'm going to make it bigger. So what I'll do is kind of combine a few together, I think, like this. Let's just see what that looks like on the other side. Yeah, okay, so the other side doesn't look good. Let's sort that out. Let's just try and make it so I can use it on both sides. And then we simply get them all together like so. Right. Oh, hang on. Let's move that first. Right. So let's start over here. And we will simply go around the outside like this. And then I'll do the same again where I push the land back to kind of make it work. Just makes a nice solid backdrop. And then let's have a look. How do we want to do this? Yeah, let's bring it in right into here. Like that. And then I can cut across here. Like that. I'll go just down into the water here as well. Actually, if I come up like so, and then the same like that. That looks good. And then I want these bits where the slope stops. I do want this to have rock as well. Something like that. Still want you to be able to see over, which you can just about. But yeah, I want the animals to have a little bit of privacy if they're over there. So let's just do the same here. As you can see, the animals clearly aren't going over to these bits anyway at the moment, but I'm kind of hoping they will at some point. But we'll see. If they don't, they don't. You know, it's one of those things. So at the moment, as far as my channel goes, we're not having a good time at the moment. Let's be honest. I mean, I am doing this out of the love for the game and love of communicating with you guys and all that, but yeah, my viewership is dropping rapidly at the moment. It's getting less and less people, losing subscribers. So yeah, I'm hoping it's kind of a summer thing. You know, people aren't sitting indoors watching YouTube. They're out and about and enjoying the good weather. And then maybe we can pick up again once the weather gets a bit nastier. And I appreciate that I'm not putting out as many videos as I would like. So that obviously doesn't help with the algorithms and whatever. So I get it, but it is a shame because my channel was getting a good bit of momentum and then suddenly it's just stopped, which is, yeah, I wouldn't say depressing, that would be over the top, but you know what I mean. It's disheartening, let's say that. But yeah, hopefully we can do something about that. Right, let's just get that in there. And then I'm just going to... So yeah, I'm hoping, like, you know, you regular guys, you know why I can't do more than I do. I really want to, and I will one day. I will manage. At the moment, though, it's just not possible. But yeah, I do. You know, I want to keep the channel ticking over. Basically, is what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm still enjoying it. That's the main thing. I'm having fun doing it, and you guys give me good feedback, and you seem to enjoy what I'm doing. So that's all good. You know, it's not. You know, I'm not one of these people that is constantly checking on how many likes I've got and all that sort of stuff. It's, you know, that does not bother me. But I just want to see my channel growing rather than shrinking. That's all, you know. But yeah, we'll get there. I'm just filling in a couple of little gaps along here, and then I'll work out what else to do. Look at that; they're all coming up on this bit of land, so that's fantastic. That's really good. That's exactly what we want. So that slope is fine. So as far as the rocks around the outside go, I think that's good. I will just check traversable area, make sure they can still get up everywhere. No, see, they can't. So I've blocked them over here. Let's have a look. It's probably that single rock there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, they can't get over to that. So I'll just play around with this a little bit. It's always one of the trickiest things to do when you're doing all this rock work. No. Yeah, inaccessible. Okay. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so they can get sort of past that. There we go. Is that going to work? No. Fine, let's stick it here. So Come on, why is that not accessible? Excuse me for coughing. Do apologise. Still quite poorly. I've got one of these annoying colds that just stays with you, you know, just doesn't let up. What on earth is going on with that? Let's just put it over here and see what it does. Wow, it's really really not liking it. Oh, hang on, it says that's inaccessible and that's inaccessible. What is going on? This is just insanity. They can go right through it, so why does it say it's not accessible? Okay, that makes no sense. Hang on, cool staff. Does it? It doesn't need staff to access it, does it? Or the rubbing pad, surely. Let's just see. Oh, it says the restraint feeder is inaccessible. Well, I'm sure, yeah, look, it says that's been used. Okay, it's saying everything is inaccessible. I think there's a bug because it's just talking rubbish. Yeah, there's no way they're inaccessible. I mean, he can go right up like that, so yeah. I'm just going to ignore that because it's clearly talking rubbish. They can still go all around the water. They can get up onto here, so yeah, I'm fine with that. This yeah, let's see. Actually, these, yeah, there's some rocks here I could get rid of. That might help the situation a bit there. Yeah, I mean, it's still saying that's inaccessible, but it is talking rubbish. Again, when you've got some rocks sort of down underneath there that aren't needed, that might help. Something like this potentially. If I can, it's not really movable. Yeah, it's fine. They can get up to there at least. So. Okay, I'm just gonna crack on. I don't want to waste too much time fiddling around with that. Let's do this this front wall. So we were going to try and do a nice arch here. So I will do that with my favourite piece, like so. Let's have a look at that. That looks good. And we'll just try and make this end a bit more solid. Like so, and then what do I need over this side? Do I need a big old chunky one like that? I probably do. Something like that, and then I can build it up a bit at the top here. Just get some extra shape on there. Maybe get one of these like that. That looks good from here. You can walk underneath. You've got, hang on, that's just sticking out a little bit too much, I would say there. There we go. Well, that actually, is that even showing through at all, or can I just delete that rock completely? I think I can. I basically hid it, didn't I? Okay, so there's your archway. It's nice and low, which I kind of like. And then I'm going to need more in here. So I want this to look really blocked off here. And then I can obviously do a whole load of foliage as well to make sure that looks really blocked off. And the same there, that'll all just get some foliage. So as you walk under there, that's what you're greeted with. I think that looks pretty cool. And then I think I'll basically do the same over here. just tilt this one a little bit like so. Make sure people can actually get under it. That's a bit too low. There we go, that looks good. Is it roughly the right angle? Yep. Good stuff. Let's build it up a little bit over here. We'll come down under here. Yeah, so going back to talking about the channel, I don't know if people are kind of switching off because they're not interested in a zoo like this where you just do the whole thing as one theme. I don't know if that's maybe putting some people off, which I get, because you know you want to be looking at new stuff, new styles and designs and things. So yeah, I would understand that, certainly, if that's the case. Let me know, do you think that's the case? Are you guys getting bored of seeing me do the same theme over and over again like this? I would completely understand it. I won't, believe me, I won't be offended if you say, yeah, let's move on and get on to the next zoo. I won't mind that at all. If that's the case, then that's what I'll do. Because I've already planned my next zoo, to a degree anyway. I mean, it's a, you know, it's in my head roughly how I want to do it, and I've already designed the map for it, a big custom island map. So it's kind of ready to go. Just haven't done any building on it yet. Okay, so this is kind of a nice barrier, this bit, that's the idea. You can't really, yes, you can't see past it as you walk down here. And then hopefully from that side it looks okay. Yeah, I just need to smidge these around a little bit. Like so, and then that's a little bit trickier, that one. Let's do that. Now, how does all that look from there? Absolutely fine. Good. Okay, so there's our rock work, looking good. So, actually, before I think about it, let's just, or before I forget about it, let's just say, let's get rid of all this long grass that's growing through our pathway, because that does not look good. Oh, excuse me for sneezing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I do not like being poorly. It keeps happening. You know, as you know, I have a little 2-year-old. Actually, she's 2.5 now, my little girl. And yeah, always bringing bugs home. Although this one, actually, she hasn't got, to be fair. I think she's just carried it to us and passed it on, which is lovely, isn't it? Right, let's get rid of a bit of this grass here. So lots of foliage. Foliage is going to play a big part, I think, in this. I just wonder whether I want some sort of a building, some sort of shelter maybe over some of this. I'm not quite sure how. Do I want one big thing? I think I do. I want to try something. So this is something that I'm not very good at, and this is something I want to do more of in my next zoo. Is where you do big round buildings. So let's go with beam. Let's see if I can do something. Don't know what. I'm just going to try and do something. So you need a big square beam as your centerpiece, like that. I think this is the basics of how this will work. And then you want to do some angle snaps. And you bring that one up, and then you bend it down to the kind of angle that you want, so something like that. And then you can mirror it over that side. Let's just combine these. And then when you do this, you see it creates your segments. So logically then, if you do that to create your first segment, you can then come into here and find a nice plank piece, for example. And this is where it usually goes wrong for me. So how do you... The tricky bit is lining it up perfectly. So you can already see there, that's somehow too high over there, which makes no sense actually. How does that... Yeah, see that? No, I don't get that. Maybe if I align it on that one. So then logically this should then be the right height. So let's flatten it. I'm just wondering if I want to, yeah, see, logic tells you you want to do it like that at the same angle. But actually you don't. And look at that, it's all, you see, it's, I think these beams are wonky in some way, because that and that just, you know, it's flat, but they're not flat. So you've already got a bit of an issue there. And obviously you've got an issue in this direction as well. So you've got to get rid of the angle snap and basically just manually line it up, which is so annoying. So this is a technique that I'm, as you can see, not good at. Because then you have to try and sort of balance it this way as well. I mean, it's easy enough getting that first one, but so yeah, so logic dictates that you want it like that, so it slides perfectly up. But actually, the look that I want is flat, which I've just messed up because I took the angle snap off. But hey ho, I'm just going to keep trying this and yeah, see if it works. It might not. I'll tell you what I might do actually. Let's just highlight them. If I could thicken that up and actually make that kind of a double length, or double depth I should say. Actually, let's just take that back so it lines up. This could all go horribly wrong, as I'm sure you'll see. But let's start with that. Right, now I'm hoping it's as simple as this until it pokes out, which obviously then means you have to go down to the next size. So yeah, so I'm going to have to, that's fine. I'm going to have to go small and kind of double it up. Well, it's good fun, isn't it? So this is something I want to do more of in the next zoo, is more creative buildings. Now, I'm not talking about round buildings like this, because I find these annoying, because inevitably you'll see what happens. I'll get this bit looking good, and then when I duplicate it around, it'll all go wrong. But there is so much scope in buildings in this game, and it's not something that I've ever done particularly well. So I want some quite, I wouldn't say epic, because I want it to look realistic, but some really quite grand, impressive buildings in my next zoo. Like, it's a very modern zoo, is the plan. Lots of glass, lots of wood, because that looks, you know, I think that combination of glass and wood looks really good. Okay, it's going all right so far. And then eventually I'll have to shrink it down to the even smaller size. And then the tricky part comes trying to duplicate it around. Let's just come out and have a look. Yeah, it looks okay. It's one of those things that until you finish it, you're never quite sure if it's actually going to look good when it's finished and copied around. Now, is this pretty much wide enough now. That's good. I just hope I can actually keep this going right up to the top. I might have to play around a bit with the depth just to keep it looking decent. As long as it's not sticking out the side though, that's the main thing. We're getting there, people, we are getting there. And that is the other thing about doing buildings. It can be quite slow progress. But I will try and make it as interesting as I can for you guys in my next zoo, because there will be a lot of buildings going on. And yeah, I guess the art of doing commentary is to try and keep things interesting. I don't know if I'm any good at that or not, but I've been told my voice is quite soothing. Now I have no idea if that's true, but you know, you guys let me know. Do I send you to sleep and not in a bad way? Right, this is getting a little bit tricky now. Let's take that to there. Let's just shrink it down. It's very close. To be honest, I don't mind leaving a gap at the top. I think that's fine. I can get away with that. So now the idea is you delete those two bits off. You do that. You unselect that one. And then hopefully you move that to there. You spin it around. You see, look at that. It's gone wonky. Look at that. That is shocking. Why on earth has it done that? So frustrating when it doesn't actually line up properly. Yeah, so this is all going to go wrong now. I did warn you. This stuff never goes to plan when I'm involved. I'll tell you what, let's lift it up, because I might be able to, I might find it a bit easier to line up if it's poking out the top there. So that's what I need to line up, isn't it? It's that one and that one. So this needs to be a straight line like that. That makes sense, yeah. And then it needs to go down to line up like that. Right, so I've just got to try this really, haven't I? Now I think the moment of truth. Now actually I think it's going to look good, but I need to actually get rid of, yeah, so I select and then I need to deselect that one and those side pieces and those side pieces, otherwise you end up with a whole load of stuff sort of overlapping. Right, now let's see if that still works. And then you just copy it around all the way, hopefully. And it should line up perfectly. Wow. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, it's not obviously where I want it. I was just trying to get it built first. We're getting some graphical glitches, but I will probably get some foliage growing on it to try and cover up some of that. But that's kind of inevitable, unfortunately. And I'll redo this. I won't have this as the main support. I will do something else. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I quite like that. So shame I couldn't colour these. I assume I can't. No, I can't. That's fine. It'd be nice if it was green, but I think the brown wood works quite well. So let's have a look at getting rid of that as the support, because there is in here. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do. Oh, this could work beautifully. So I wonder, could I get it around a couple of these? I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, that's going to work, isn't it? That just looks beautiful. There we go. So there's our thing. Oh, look at that. My half hour is up. So we're going to crack on with this in the next episode. I'll tell you what I need to do actually is just lift this up a bit so it's a bit lower like that. And then hopefully I can just maneuver the whole thing into a good spot. I don't know where. I could have one kind of like that, you know, and then just put some rocks underneath it. Gives you a bit of shelter over this area here. And then maybe another one coming up just on the edge of these rocks, maybe like this. Something like that. So slightly different heights, that's fine. It kind of just gives you that little bit of shelter and structure, doesn't it? And in fact, what I'll do just to mix that up is just get that spun round a bit. And then once you've got a load more trees, I think that'll work well. It will look good. There we go. That's not bad at all, is it? Actually, just before I've just got to get a rock under there because it's just going to bug me otherwise. It just looks a bit silly, doesn't it? Hang on, let's get rid of the old snapperoonie. What do I need? Yeah, it's probably one of these ones, isn't it? Gosh, you could even be probably small. No, let's go with one of these. Something like that. Yeah, and then a bit more foliage will kind of disguise that. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks pretty nifty. Cool. So that's coming together quite nicely. And look, you see they are enjoying that, even though it says it's inaccessible. He is quite clearly lying in the mud pit there. So I'm calling that as a bug. Look, he's using that one as well. This won't be grass, obviously. Eventually, this will all be mud because they're muddy creatures. But we'll deal with that. So there's still an awful lot to do in this habitat, but I think that is taking shape quite nicely. Let me know what you think. If you've got any thoughts and advice about my channel as well, please do leave comments down below. I really, you know, I both want, need, and appreciate your help and advice in how to get the channel doing better. So yeah, any thoughts at all, please do leave me a comment. And anything you want to say about my my crocodile habitat or my zoo in general. And obviously any advice on my presenting style and all that sort of stuff as well. Anything you want to say at all, please do. And I'll see you again in the next episode. Until then, take care. Bye for now.